Picture this. A man is chained to the floor of a dark, filthy dungeon. His wrists bleed from the iron cuffs, the stench of rot clogs the air, and in the corner of the cell, a cage begins to rattle. Inside, several rats, starved, frantic, clawing at the bars. This wasn't just imprisonment. It was one of the most sadistic tortures ever devised, the rat dungeon. The procedure was deceptively simple. The victim would be bound, his abdomen or chest exposed occasionally. A rat cage containing hungry rats would be placed on him. There was only one way for the rats to escape, and that was downward. The sadist would then set fire to the cage. The desperate and famished rats would go to the unthinkable, burrow into the prisoner's body in an effort to escape. Imagine the sound, nails screeching wildly, teeth tearing flesh, and the screeching of the rats echoing through the air as they screeched inside. The pain caused the victim was grotesque, a fear that involved both physical torment and mental terror. And the shock, rat torture wasn't about torture, it was about control. The method was rarely used to kill. Instead, it was used to extract information, intimidate enemies, or break a prisoner's will. In using animals, torturers made natural something that could be used as an instrument of fear, our distaste for rodents. This was not restricted to a place or a time. Methods of rat torture emerged throughout the centuries, ranging from medieval European dungeons to accounts in Latin America, and even within 20th century totalitarian dictatorships. Rats, creatures already associated with disease and filth, were made into living tools of torture. The complete degradation of the process was another refinement of sadism. While a sword or a gallows had a ghastly kind of honor, rat torture brought a human being below that of man, an appetizer for vermin. That was the idea. It did not merely kill the body, it killed the soul. And the cruelty did not stop in the torture chamber. Memory lingered on. Survivors from prison camps would speak of the mental scars, the feeling of tiny claws when the lesions healed, and nightmares filled with squeals and grinding teeth. If you think about it, this was a practice that says something evil about human nature. Humans invented a punishment that would kill not only, but would attempt to dominate nature itself by turning animals into weapons of fear. It's a reminder of the reality that several of the darkest tools in history were not high-tech gadgets, but brutal thoughts. Did it succeed then? Sadly, yes. Not many of the prisoners could resist the torture of rats crawling into their skin. Confessions came rapidly, true as well as false. But what was the price at which that succeeded? It showed just how much the powers that be would do in order to remain in power. In retrospect, rat dungeon torture is a reminder that justice never was about fairness or truth. Sometimes it was a question of fear. And when fear becomes the instrument of power, there is no end to cruelty. And when you're suddenly woken up by the sound of rats scurrying in the darkness, recall those dungeons, those prisoners whose screams were drowned out by screams. It's a ghastly inheritance, evidence of the fact that even the most benign of beings can be employed as instruments of humanity's ugliest side. And I'll leave you with this question. Did you ever believe that torture methods like these ever did the job? Or was it merely a show of the power of cruelty? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories of the most terrible punishments in history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and see you next time.